Your sisters ain't got no excuse for looking raggedy in the street like that.
Now available in paperback and Kindle Unlimited, Isis, Imitation of Life. The Goddess Next Door helps a young black girl overcome racism during the era of Jim Crow in this Golden Age Isis series adventure. Get Isis, Imitation of Life in paperback and Kindle Unlimited today.
Academy Award winning actress Monique took a minute to speak to black women on Instagram about their appearance. And in a 5-minute video she talked to black women about walking out in the street in these head bonnets and these pajama pants and these house shoes, also known as slippers. And she admonished black women about their unkempt appearance because it wasn't a good look on the sisters. And I commend Monique for coming out and speaking to the sisters because that shows how great character she has to take a minute to sit down and speak to these sisters about their poor appearance and their lack of care about self. And it takes a lot of character for a woman to come out here and call out another woman because, as we've seen in the black community, a lot of black women remain silent and they just don't say things about things that need to be said. And that's why I commend Monique for coming out here and speaking to the sisters, because when I see black women out here walking around with these bonnets on and these headscarves and these pajama pants and looking real sloppy, it just makes me want to shake my head because this is not a good look on the sisters and it's an even worse look on us men. And the reason why I say it's not a good look for the sisters is because a black woman is supposed to be looking her best everywhere she goes. I mean, if you want to make a good first impression on people, you want to put on your best clothes when you step outside. I mean, even though I have been out of work for several years, I always make sure that I'm always trying to look my best whenever I'm outside or when I'm online because I know that having a presentable appearance is part of making a strong first impression on people. And when you see a woman not taking care for her appearance, it really says a lot about her. And it says that she really doesn't love herself. It says she doesn't like herself. And it says that she has very little respect for self and because her standard is so low that she practically has no sort of care for her appearance. And that's something that we really need to start calling out about black women because when you take a historical look at our sisters, we can definitely do better. Now, back in the days of Jim Crow, your racists would go out here and try to present the black women in the most grotesque fashion with their caricatures like the Mammy, who was fat and slovenly, the Jezebel, who was promiscuous, and the Sapphire, who was emasculating. And to combat those racist stereotypes, our sisters would come out here putting on their best clothes, putting on their best makeup, putting on their best hair, and showing they could be respectable, sophisticated ladies, and they could do it in their own style. And I have to wonder what happened to our sisters over the last couple of years because a lot of our sisters have lost that sense of pride that their grandmothers and great grandmothers had when they would go out here and put on their finest every day and just to go basically to the supermarket or even to just go walking around to do some errands. What happened to our sisters out here to make them stop caring about their appearance? And one of the answers I believe comes it from is the fact that many of our sisters don't value themselves because many of our males out here don't hold them to a standard. Now, a woman out here is a reflection of the men in the community, and sadly, because we've got all of these beta males raised by these single mothers, these males don't hold black women to any sort of standard about their appearance. And after your Monique made the video calling out these sisters about their poor appearance, what happened was a group of beta males came on screen to defend their mamas wearing bonnets, talking about it's okay. And when I saw that group of males going out here putting on those bonnets to defend their mothers, it showed me, one, that these beta males are completely soft, weak, and effeminized, and two, these beta males were extremely not fit for leadership. Because any man who goes out here and has any sort of standard, he's going to want to have his woman reflecting him in a positive fashion, and he's going to want to go out here and insist that his woman go out here and make herself just as presentable as he is. Unfortunately, what I saw on social media with these males was a group of men who had no sense of standard, and because they had no sense of standard, they were willing to sit here and accept females who were wearing these hair bonnets and wearing pajamas in the street and wearing house shoes to just go back and forth in public. These weak males, because they refuse to lead and insist that they will not go out here and have a woman at their side looking raggedy, this is the reason why many of these females out here are looking as terrible as they are, because these males will just sit there and accept these females and not insist that these females step up their game as related to their appearance. Now, a man like myself, who always tries to go out looking polished and crisp, I insist on a woman going out here and looking her best, because if I'm going to go out here and make an effort to look my best, I want the woman at my side to look just as presentable as I am, because that reflects on me to have a woman dressed in a presentable fashion just like I am. Unfortunately, we've had a whole crop of 2 to 3 generations of extra soft, extra sorry males who, instead of insisting that a standard be held for our women, have gone out here and decided, oh, everything is okay. I'll accept my woman out here looking raggedy because my mama was looking raggedy. And looking raggedy is perfectly fine because I just want to go out here and get my taste of the atomic waste and not think about how this reflects on you as a man. Because when your woman is looking bad, that shows that you have no respect for yourself and you have no sort of value for yourself as a man, because you'll just take any female without ever saying, look, if we're in a relationship, we need to look the part of a responsible man and a responsible woman. But these males sit here and accept this because they just think, if I say something, I will wind up hurting this woman just like they would hurt their mama, and that would cut off their taste of the atomic waste. But any man of character is going to call out the women in his community, and he's going to say to those women that I need you to maintain your appearance up to a standard, because this reflects badly on me. It reflects badly on the community, and you are sending a message to our children that they don't need to care about themselves, because if you don't care, then why should they care? And that is the critical question many black women don't seem to understand, that your children ask, that you answer by going out here looking raggedy. Because if you don't care, then your children don't care. And I refuse to sit there and make an excuse for these black women the same way those black males did on Instagram, putting on those bonnets, because I don't go out here and say, oh, I'm going to put a hat on because my hair isn't combed. No, that's just being sloppy. And my mother raised me to always maintain a crisp appearance. She taught me from a little boy to always go out with my hair combed, always go out with a pressed shirt, and always even go out here with pressed pants, even if it means putting a crease in the jeans and put on some very nice shoes, because you are supposed to go out here looking presentable for yourself, like Monique stated in her video. And you want to go out here and do that because it says that you love yourself. It says you have value of self. And it says that you have enough confidence to go out here because you're going to have a standard as related to your appearance. And that standard you have for your appearance is going to make you want to go out here and make yourself look your best so you can go out here and be your best. And that is the standard I have for myself as a man, because whenever I go out here, and I remember back in the day, I used to take it to even a higher level. I mean, I would, again, go out here with a crisply pressed shirt. Every time I went out, I would go out here with a nice pair of crisply pressed jeans and a nice pair of even polished shoes, because I wanted people to see me at my best. And I would even go out as far as taking clothes to the dry cleaners to make sure they were in the best state that they could be, so I could leave a powerful first impression on people. Even if I was just going to the store, I wanted the people to go and look at me and see somebody who was respectable because he respected himself to put on his best clothes. Unfortunately, many of our sisters, they haven't been talked to the way Monique's took a minute to sit down and talk to them in that video on Instagram. They haven't had a woman sit down and talk to them and let them know that when you go out here with those bonnets on, those house shoes on, and those pajama pants on, it's not a good look. And it's not a good look not because you're trying to get some man to pay attention to you. It's not a good look because it says you don't love you. Because any woman who goes out here wearing all sorts of pajama pants, unkempt hair, and not even trying, what she's saying is, I don't need anybody to care about me. I don't need anybody to respect me. And that's really, again, really sad, because many of these same women who are sitting here wearing the bonnets and wearing the pajama pants and the house shoes, many of these same women are going to sit here and go online talking about how they want a high value man, but a high value man values himself to put on his very best, and he wants a woman who's going to reflect him. And what man would want a woman who is out here looking raggedy in pajama pants and a bonnet? What high value man would want that? Because that does not reflect him. And any even decent working class brother isn't going to want his woman out here looking like that, because that makes it look like he's not taking care of his business. It's not making him look like he's able to provide for his woman, and it makes him look like a complete loser. And many of these women really need to think about that. And many of these beta males who are out here, these simps, sitting up here putting on bonnets, making black manhood look bad, these men really need to step back from the platforms that they're on, putting on these bonnets, because when your Monique called out black women, she called them out of love, because she knows, like I know, the history of our sisters as related to beauty. She knows the history of our sisters going out here looking their finest. I mean, I wrote about this in books like The Thetas and Isis Imitation of Life, about how our sisters used to really just look absolutely amazing. And I even talked about it in Spellbound as related to Matilda's whole transformation into the Black Widow, how our sisters used to be some of the most beautiful women on the planet, and they could go back to being that image and that ideal that they created if they went out here and took some pride in their appearance. Because it's just absolutely disgusting to see our sisters putting themselves at the bottom like this, looking raggedy like this in airports, in Walmarts, in Targets, and just walking about because it says that our sisters don't love themselves, and they're sitting there getting these simps out here making excuses for them instead of holding the line with Monique and men like myself who demand better of black women and demand a higher standard because we want to see our sisters being their very best. We want to see them at their finest, and we want to see black beauty presented in a positive fashion and see black beauty standing out and standing proud, because if the black woman doesn't see black as beautiful, how can she ask somebody else to see black as beautiful? If you want to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, or my Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. And if you want to try some of my SJS Direct publications featuring positive images of sophisticated black women like The Thetas, Isis Imitation of Life, Spellbound, and the books of the Spinsterella trilogy, you can find all of those books on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find them on Smashwords, the iBookstore, and Google Play. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.
Now available in paperback and e-readers, Spellbound, A Darker Shade of Black. Get your copy today at your favorite online bookseller.